Thank you, Mr. Chairman, very much. Cape Cod is a economic pillar and a recreation oasis for Massachusetts, and the only accessible way to get on that island by land is by two bridges which span the Cape Cod Canal. And regrettably, these two 80-year-old bridges, which are crucial evacuation routes, do not meet modern specifications. The Corps of Engineers, which maintains the bridges, is currently conducting a study to evaluate whether the bridges need to be replaced or substantially rehabilitated. The agency that you're seeking to run is charged with reducing risks from disaster. So my question to you is, will you work with me to ensure that the Corps of Engineers has the resources and authorities it needs to rehabilitate or replace these bridges?
Yes, sir, I sure will.
And thank you, sir. And many of our nation's roads, ports, airports, railways not only serve as critical arteries of commerce and transportation, but also play an instrumental role in facilitating mass evacuations and expediting recovery and emergency response. But many of our nation's evacuation routes may not have the capacity or resilience they need to fully serve their critical role. That's why I'm planning to introduce legislation to target federal resources towards these critical evacuation routes to ensure that we can protect the public and better respond to disasters. I think it's important for all of our colleagues to work on addressing this important issue. Plymouth Harbor. In 2020, we will be celebrating the 400th anniversary of the voyage of the Mayflower to the settlement in Plymouth. So that's just 3 years from now. But the celebration won't be complete if ships cannot get into and out of the harbor. Regrettably, Plymouth Harbor has filled up with so much sand that ships are having trouble navigating. Mr. James, if confirmed, will you work with me to ensure that we complete the harbor deepening before the 400th anniversary of the settlement of Plymouth in the year 2020?
Senator, I will work with you toward that. I'd look forward to it and get back with you. May I ask you a question?
Please.
Will there be a dredge disposal problem in that area? If it were to be, it would slow down that process.
That's a very good question that I'm going to rely upon the Army Corps to.
Okay. Okay, sir. I'll ask them. Thank you.
Chairman, yeah, thank you. If we don't maintain our nation's rivers, channels, harbors, we will be effectively hitching an anchor to the U.S. economy. So we have communities all across Massachusetts, New Bedford, Wellfleet, Essex, Gloucester, Newburyport. The waterways are filling up with so much sand, again, that vessels cannot reliably and safely pass, which harms commerce, recreation, and safety. Many of these waterways are federally owned, and it's the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers' responsibility to dredge these waterways. In Massachusetts, we have had success in securing funding for these important projects. Over $18 million was awarded to Boston Harbor in fiscal year 17, another $58 million in the President's fiscal year 18 budget. And I look forward to working with the Army Corps to maintain this strong level of federal support. We still have a lot of work to do. There's a big backlog. And I thank you, Mr. James, for your willingness to put yourself up for this job.
Thank you, Senator, very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr.